Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of In the Editing Room. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at how to make one of those quick, fancy social media how-to videos. These types of videos involve some production with the camera, but we're going to skip that part and get right in here to the editing room, where we will take a look at how these are edited and, of course, the graphic overlays. Now, this particular one I'm going to be making today is the last one in a series of how-to videos. My wife actually made a 25 gift recipes book, ebook, and we decided to go ahead and make 25 videos. We made 26 actually, so we ended up skipping one. So we have 25 that we are producing, and this is the last one that I am going to be editing together. So as I've already made 25, one skipped, of these, I have templates already made, and I have graphic templates already made as well. So let's get started. I'll be using two programs today. One will be Vegas, and I'll go ahead and open up the other one, which is HitFilm. Here it comes up right now, and I'm not going to start with HitFilm yet, so I'll minimize that as soon as it kind of loads in here. All right, yep. Actually, you know what? Why not? Let's start with HitFilm, because in HitFilm, I'll be able to show you where I made the graphics for this first. First off, we have the intro graphic. There we go, and that is easily customizable by just clicking on the main text, and then just kind of updating that version's title. So, and then I'll get into this later about how to do the render queues, which are very, very helpful and an extreme time saver, and an awesome tip. Probably the best tip you're going to get out of this, watching this, is figuring out the render queue and all of that, and we'll do that in a little bit. So this is basically a look at how I made the lower third bugs right here. That's with my wife's name and all of that. This is the closing graphic, which I actually only needed to make one of these because this is the same on every one of the videos. And then this right here is what we'll be updating. This is a little instruction pop-out that kind of gives you the step-by-step instructions throughout the video. So here is the template in Vegas that I have built. And as you can see here, I have my music track already down there. And then this right here, I already have that the template for the lower third bug that comes in, and then the closing slide, and we'll trim all of this up as we go. So now I will be wanting to start with the final video, number 25 here. And as you can see, I've got, I'll just do this. This was the intro for this that I already made. So I've got that, and I don't need any audio, so I'll unlink that and delete the audio track from it. There was nothing there anyways. I'm gonna bring my this down to best and full, and as you can see, that gives me the best quality in my preview. And I'm gonna take a screenshot of this, save this as a PNG, and I'm gonna call it 0025. So there we go. And that is just what I'm going to be using as the thumbnail when I upload this to YouTube. So that's all I did there. And now I'll drop this back down to about half, because now I'll be bringing in the actual clip right here. And again, I will not be needing, it's going to load this in, give this a second to do its thing. Okay, so I'm going to unlink the audio because I do not want any of this audio coming through on my final video. So I'll unlink and delete the audio. Now, one thing before, just a little bit of cleanup stuff here. Let's line that up so that that starts right after the open graphic. So yeah, the open graphic kind of comes in real nice. And then, yeah, that'll be good. Now, what I need to do is create those step-by-step instructions, okay? So what I did was I kept a production log, and I'll find that right here. This was day 3 and 4, and that'll pop up on a different screen. So let me bring that over here, and we'll go all the way down right here. Yeah, a little note there to use this one to make the In the Editing Room episode. So that's what we're doing. So on my production log, while I was actually shooting this video here, I kept this production log. This is the hand sanitizer that we were making, and this is just information for the intro slide, which I already made. And then these next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bits of information, or 6 lines of text, are going to be our 6 bits of the instruction that we need to put into here. So what I will do is let me get this down, since this has to be kind of in on one screen. We'll bring it right over about here. Okay, so I'll just go right ahead and copy this, paste that in there. Looks good. Yeah, that works. So I'll go right ahead and hit add this to the export, and that is exporting the in and out area where I have my markers set here. As you can see, when it goes out, that's all I need right there. So it's going to take the slide in with this text and the slide out. So I'll put that in the export, and I'll go over there now and let it know, yes, that's what I want it to render out with the alpha information, which is this transparency information. So I will come down here and make sure it saves, and I'll just call it 001. So that's going to save where I want it. So now that it's going to, every time I hit this, it will save where I want it. What I can do is go to the next one and come over here. Whoops, not sure what happened there. And aloe vera gel, yep, looks good. So I'll just add that, go to the next one now. And some of these are longer than others. Young Living Thieves essential oil. Everything here looks about the same. This last one might be a little longer, but so this one I'll add with that text. Now this one, yeah, that was a little long. We're missing the EO on the back, so I'll go over to the text and drop it down until that fits. The other thing I'm going to want to do is recenter it right about there. Okay, that looks good. So I'll add that one. On to the next one. Let's see here. Paste that. And of course, since this one's a little shorter, I'll make this nice and big and recenter right about there. And then I'll add that. And then on to the last one. Oops, I keep doing that. I'm not sure why that happens. You're done. Nice. And that looks good. I don't need to recenter that or anything. And I'll add that to the export queue. So let's make this here we go. Let's bring this a little bit bigger. And we'll go over to the export queue, and you'll see that I have all of these in the right folder, but I want to rename them. So I'm just going to go ahead, do that real quick. All right, I have all 6 of them. Now I have a render queue, and I can start exporting. And as you'll see, since these clips are actually pretty short, I think they're 3-second clips, they're popping out really quickly. Once these are done, how awesome is that? Didn't take any time at all, did it? There There we go. Okay, so we'll get rid of that, and we'll bring up our folder, and right here is where they should be. There they are, 1 through 6, and I'll just go ahead and drag all those in on my timeline here in Vegas. Computer's thinking about it. We'll let it think here. All right, let's grab them again. Here we go. Thinking about it again. There we go. We'll drop them right in there. Now, as you'll see, here when I've added them to the timeline, I'm not seeing my video underneath it. I'm not seeing through this graphic, and I need to see through the graphic. Here's what I'll do with one of these, just so you can get the idea here. There's a couple ways to do this, or get to the properties. You could just go right to properties. I always disable the resample out of habit and go over to media. And right down here in the alpha channel, it's at none. That's why I have black here. So we'll want to change that to straight unmatted. And then you see I've got my checkers now, and which is the transparency, which is this that I can see through it, but the graphics are still there. So as we go over, we'll see them pop in really nice, and that'll slide out. So now all I need to do is sync up that part of the video with this graphic. A nice thing is a quicker way when you have a whole bunch of graphics on here is to select all of them in the project media. Right click, come down to properties, and then we are seeing the properties for the multiple files that we have selected here. So all these multiple files, we can go right ahead and select straight unmatted, and that'll do it for the rest of them. I am going to select all of these and go over to switches and make sure my disabled resample is selected. So that really right there just gave me all of the content that I need to complete this. Before I get going, what I'm going to do is save this as, instead of a template, this will be called 25 hand sanitizer. Save. There we go. All right. So now I can just follow my instruction graphics to sync up what video needs to be in that quick little clip. And it looks like I need the distilled water. So we'll just come through up in my... There's the distilled water. And that does look a little dark. So what I'm going to do is come over here to my levels and reset them. And I'll just kind of go... let's do just 25. Just a little bit there. And then what do you think? Yeah, we might need to go all the way to 700. Yeah, we might adjust that later. But it's just a dark background with a dark spoon, and the water is obviously transparent, so it just looks pretty dark. But let's see what we're working with here. So what I want to do inside these 3 seconds is show the water. Now I'm going to click this button right here. And what that'll do is show this preview full screen on a separate screen that I have. And you're not going to see that here on this recording, but the only reason I'm doing that is so that I can see this clip in full screen, so that I can see when this spoon is in focus, because that's the bit that I'm going to want to take. So I'm looking over here just to make sure right in here is good. All of this in here is in focus. Actually, I can go a little more. Yeah, so we'll take all of that, and then we'll just trim it up to the part where DIY Deb kind of pours it right into that bottle there. So we'll start right about there. And yeah, perfect. Gets the idea across that we're doing half a tablespoon of distilled water. There it is. It goes in there. Very good. Next step, half tablespoon of aloe vera gel. So we will just plug on down the line until we see that pop in front of the screen. And this is just trimming the video because there it is. All right. Let's see what's going on there. Okay. Oops. So let's see here. Scrubbing here just to see. A little too low. Maybe she puts it up a little higher. She holds it there for quite a while. There we go. See how it's centered more right there where she's holding it? That's about where I'm going to want to. That's about the 1.5 that I'm looking for. And of course, I'll just make sure that it is in focus over here on this other screen. Getting a little bit of grain there, so I'll have to do adjusting levels. But that's good. So there's the 1/2 second of the aloe vera gel being shown, and then that goes right before she starts tipping. Pack it up right about there. And we'll see. Okay, so it's a little bit longer. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll take this, and it goes a little past the 3 seconds I have of this graphic. And that's okay. I'll just grab this and tighten it up. And that's why I disabled the resample. Because when you stretch or compress frame rates, like I'm doing here, that's what these squiggly lines are, it will interlace those frame rates. And I don't want that. I want it to drop frame rates so that every frame in there is nice and clear and not overlapped. I've mentioned a lot about interlaced frame rates before, so I won't get too much into it. Right, what's the next one? Thieves. So she will be holding up the bottle of Thieves here next. There we go. A little bit down. A little bit down. Yeah, here we go. There's my hand coming in there. Just there. That looks good. Somewhere in here. So 3 drops of Thieves. I'm not going to go with the full 1.5. I'll come back a little. Just because 3 drops takes a little bit more time. All right, so now we just want to find those drops. And what I'm going to do here, since I'm trying to look at some time-sensitive things and I need a cleaner playback, I'm going to put this track on solo, which means I'm not seeing anything else. So when I play it back, it's not having the computer's not having to generate these graphics. It's just playing back this video. So I'm going to count the drops. Oops, looks like I must have missed one. All right, I think I saw it there. So let's count the drops. Was about there. She comes over. There we go. And again, just a little past, and I can turn those graphics back on. A little, whoops, wrong side. So we'll tighten that up. Just so those 3 drops fall in within the time that I want them to. Now we're looking for 1 drop of peppermint. There's the peppermint bottle. That looks good right there. Nice and in focus, and since it's just 1 drop, that doesn't take too long, so I'll go the 1.5 seconds there, and let's find that drop. There we go. Bottle's ready. Right there, the hand came up, so it must have happened right before that, since this is just 1. Let's see if we can see it. There it goes. All right. So we can get rid of about that much. There we go. Right about there. That's good. And we'll cut it there. Next step, cap and spray. All right. So we'll bring this over. We'll catch that motion right there. Your last one is you're done. So okay. So what we're looking for is just the cap. I think I'm gonna cut that right there. Let's see here. Yeah, so cap, and you get the twisting idea, and then we want to spray. Let's see if we can find where Deb sprays here. And this is a hand sanitizer spray, so she's going to actually spray her hand, and I'm just lining her up on the screen. All right, there it goes. So we want that spray to fit inside of our 1.5 seconds. Nice. Okay. And now for the "you're done" slide. What did we have here? Just oh, there we go. Okay, so just using the sanitizer. Okay. Let's see if we can. That'll be the end. Right there. Okay. There we go. So with the graphic over the end, she's using the hand sanitizer. Graphic says you're done. And yes, we are done. So we can get rid of that last little clip. And now I just have to trim up the lower third bug so that the lower third bug goes out. As we see, I have a still. This right here is the still of this, and then it goes back into the actual motion graphic of the bug spinning away. And then we'll bring in our closing slide. Boom. And that is how to make hand sanitizer, and that is how to make the graphic how-to video. I've got this all highlighted, and I'll Control Save to get that saved. And now I will just render this, and these are all my completed ones, and I'll just get rid of the beginning of my template name to have 25 hand sanitizer. Save that, and we'll start rendering that. So that's it. Now all I need to do is get this uploaded to YouTube and scheduled to post. Thank you so much for watching. I'll go ahead and play this full video for you. And I'll see you next time in the editing room. Take care.